For this Pokemon Synergy, I decided to go visit the Witch Doctor. This is a singles battle, one of my very few single battle teams. This is Caleb. Nice Darkrai shirt there. And out comes the Spritzy. It's not Eviolite, it's level 1. In comes Electivire. I didn't quite trust that, I didn't know what it would go for. There's level 1 Spritzy. I go for the Protect first turn. I was scouting it out. He went for the Wild Charge. This was good for me. Maybe I could take it out in one hit. But instead, he switched out for Flareon. Probably noticed that I was level 1 and wanted a Trick Room. Good call on his part. Most F.E.A.R actually go for Endeavor Quick Attack or something like that. But Spritzy doesn't have access to Quick Attack. Flareon does. And with that Guts boosted Flame Orb, that's dangerous. Focus S comes in, there's Endeavor. Flareon, it's down to 1 HP, and its Poison Toxic Orb takes it out for me. That kind of messed up my strategy a bit, but maybe it'll work with the Electivire. I go for another Endeavor. I'm still at 1 HP, so Electivire, it's almost down. Instead of using the Wild Charge, he goes for the Ice Punch. And he has no Life Orb. Since Trick Room was wearing out soon, I decided to send in my Mimikyu instead. I go for the Curse. This Mimikyu does not have a single offensive attack. You use Taunt twice, it'll break the Mental Herb, and it'll lose. Ice Punch, it breaks the Disguise, the Curse went off, and since he's at 1 HP, the Curse is more than enough to take it out. Goodbye, Flareon. Goodbye, Electivire. You have both lost to status. And finally, in comes the Pidgeot. Trick Room is ending this turn, and I knew what I wanted to do. I needed to stall out the Pidgeots to activate Trick Room a second time. And what's a better way to stall out for Trick Room on a Ghost type than to use Destiny Bond? If he does not knock me out, Trick Room, it has super negative priority and will knock me out guaranteed next turn. Unfortunately, with no guard, Hurricane is guaranteed to hit, and with me already at half health, Mimikyu goes down. I still had a second Pokemon to go. KO. Up next is this scary looking team. Foreign name, can't pronounce it, don't know how, sorry. We're leading with the Pheromosa. It was kind of popular back in Sun and Moon until people realized just how frail it was. In comes Pheromosa. In comes the Spritzy. I wasn't quite sure what to expect. Would it be a me first? Z me first? What would it do? Turns out it had the Poison Jab. Good idea, but it's level 1. If he gets the Toxic to land on me, I'm in trouble. He doesn't, and I go for the Trick Room. That Pheromosa's speed, it doesn't have Speed Swap. That would have been a really good idea since I'm level 1, obviously going for Trick Room. I use the Endeavor. No Life Orb on that Pheromosa. The Poison Jab will knock me out and let me continue the rest of my strat. This time I went not with the Escavalier, but with the Toucanon. I actually got kind of lucky with this Toucanon when I was Masuda swapping for Shinies. I had to get to level 100 though because its HP was 0. And here comes the Z move. I raise my attack sharply, and I return Poison Jab as a mirror move. Acid Downpour. It's not a Steel type Pheromosa, so it goes down easily, even without being at just 1 HP. In comes the Charizard. Pretty lucky turn right here. That's a Charizard Y. That's more seen in doubles than singles. That's Sun. That could hurt water types, especially if it had Solar Beam. But if this Charizard had Ancient Power, I believe it's called, I would be in super trouble. Rock Blast missed. He goes for the Fire Blast. Luckily, unlike with Blizzard or Thunder, this move does not get increased accuracy. Rock Blast skill link lets it hit 5 times, but it only needed 1. The Twisted Dimensions return to normal. This is bad. Suicune will outspeed Suicune. It's bound to have the Ice Beam or Blizzard. Even an Icy Wind would be hard for me. I decided to switch out. I can't risk it. Best thing about Trick Room teams, you can invest bulky. In comes the Mimikyu. There's the Ice Beam. I didn't know what he'd go for next. He didn't show the Tailwind. He didn't show a Calm Mind or anything, but he shows the Calm Mind now. He's getting specially tanky when he saw that I'm physical, but that Ice Beam will hurt when the Toucannon comes back in. I go for the Destiny Bond. However, since he knows he's faster than me, he can safely use the Calm Mind again and wait out my move. There's another Calm Mind. And Trick Room comes in. That is a negative 6 or 7 priority move. Even if he were to use Avalanche, Payback, maybe even Circle Throw, I'm not sure, that would outspeed. Well, Circle Throw wouldn't hurt me unless I was no longer Ghost type or Foresight. But that would still outslow, and I would get my Destiny Bond. In comes the Curse. I knew that he would anticipate that move that makes him in trouble. In comes the Curse. He's losing less than a quarter of his hit points every time. If I was smart, I would have Pain Split now, but instead I went for that Destiny Bond again. I should have Pain Split. I should have known about that. But instead, he gets in another Calm Mind. All he has to do is wait for me to throw out that Destiny Bond and then hit me the turn after, because I'm guaranteed to be faster and hence slower. Slower, hence faster than in Trick Room. I really should have held off, used Pain Split last turn. I really should have gone for Trick Room this turn, but I wasn't thinking it straight. Mimikyu, it goes down. Destiny Bond is now no longer in effect, but at the very least, me using Pain Split made him lose 1 HP, so that he's guaranteed to be knocked out this turn by the Curse. I don't have the Protect on this Toucannon, so I go for the Bullet Seed. That's 1. 1 takes less than a quarter, so maybe a fifth, or more than a fifth, which means that it would have been a 1-hit KO, even without the +2 from Z Mirror move. Ben is next, and he's leading with the Minior. This could be some trouble, because Minior, it has the shields down. It likes to go for Shell Smash. When I ran Minior in the battle tree, I actually used Shell Smash with a Focus Sash. But because that was so dangerous, they couldn't status me, they couldn't knock me out. I could just get pluses as long as I wished until I was ready to go offensive. In comes the Shell Smash. If he has a Mental Herb, it would show. If he does not, it's a Focus Sash. Down goes the defenses, up goes the offenses and speed, and there's the White Herb, not mental, White Herb. And I pull off my Trick Room. He knows I'm level 1, he knows I'll have the Focus Sash, he knows he needs to stall out the Trick Room. I was anticipating him going for the Shell Smash over and over, and I didn't want Trick Room to run out by the time he actually got around to doing something. That would have been extremely dangerous for this team. That's his second Shell Smash. Due to the Endeavor, Shields Down activates. I switch out my Spritzy manually. I go into my Mimikyu because if he decided to go offensive, it would have the disguise to protect itself. And that was an offensive turn. The shield is down. The disguise is busted. And I used Destiny Bond. I probably should have used Curse and then Destiny Bond before Trick Room ended so I can reset it safely. Mimikyu, it goes down. The Destiny Bond, it's active. Minior goes down. We both don't know what we're bringing in. But I see that I have 1 turn of Trick Room left, so I go back into the Spritzy. Then he sends out the Talonflame. Really good last gen, but then it changed to only work at full HP. I go for the Protect. I kind of expected a Z Brave Bird so that he can keep that priority. He didn't go for it. He uses Brave Bird again. Maybe he's banded into it. I'm not sure. But that's my Focus Sash activating. I'm at 1 HP. I get off my next Trick Room after he takes damage from the recoil. Spritzy is the bird controlling this battle. And I get off my Endeavor. You probably see what's going to happen. This Talonflame, it wants big damage even though it doesn't have to. It pulls off the flame body anyway. No matter what happens this turn, Spritzy's going down. In comes the Brave Bird again. It knocks me out. He has to take recoil damage at 1 HP. He takes himself out as well. This Spritzy has taken out a Pokemon pseudo on its own. In comes the Pangoro. It has the parting shot so that Mimikyu can tank hits better should Trick Room about to end. And he also has the Iron Fist, Life Orb, Hammer Arms so that he can get rolling in Trick Room. I believe he also has Knockoff, Rock Slide, and I already mentioned the parting shot. And the battle's over. After Ben comes Shadow. This team could be more annoying. He is leading with his Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn, it's a setup, phasey Pokemon. It can have the Stealth Rock, it can have the Spikes, it can have the Ingrain, it can have the Leech Seed. It's annoying all around. And he has the Iron Barbs to boot. I forgot if Iron Barbs affected Endeavor or not when I started this battle, and I did not want to find out the wrong way. I protect the first turn to scout it out. He goes for the Stealth Rock. I thought he's going to go for the Leech Seed now. I'm Magic Coat. Now, there are quite a few people that don't know that Spritzy's hidden ability prevents her from being affected by taunts, but they throw it out the first turn anyway. Sometimes I go for Trick Room. Sometimes I Magic Coat the taunt back. It depends on what my whims. Ferrothorn, it goes for the Explosion. Apparently he sees that he cannot set up, anticipated another Magic Coat, and used his only offensive move, Explosion. He is a setup so that the rest of the team can sweep. Unfortunately, I have the Focus Sash. You probably saw that coming since I'm level 1, and I get off my Trick Room. Escavalier comes in. This looks like it could be a mirror match, since I love using Escavalier with this set as well. Spikes hits it. If that was a Focus Sash, it's broken. Doesn't matter. Endeavor hits it hard either way. Anyway, and there's a drill run. He is not running this Escavalier like I run mine. In comes the Torkoal, another Pokemon I use with this. Pointed Stones dig in. Good thing I'm not using Eruption. Drought kicks in. This is actually from a different set that I just adapted into here. I don't go for the Eruption or Flamethrower. I go for the Heat Wave. I believe that has a better chance of burning. And not to mention with the Sun and the Stab, the damage does not need to be as scary as it is. And there's his third shiny Staraptor. It has Intimidate. I'm a special attacker. I get off another Heat Wave. And the Staraptor, it survives pretty well. In comes the close combat. It's not Stab, so it doesn't deal as much as it could. And it lowers his defenses. If it was a high roll until a low, he had a very slim chance of surviving. But with that minus defenses, he's guaranteed a KO. This Spritzy Sir loves working in Trick Room. You can adapt it into your strats if you wish. Give it a try. And here's what I originally made the strat for the Escavalier. In comes Trainer 2-1. He has the Garchomp and a Beast Ball. And in comes the Spritzy. If it's a rough-skinned Garchomp, then I probably die to the Endeavor. But he immediately switches it out. In comes the Scizor. He sees that I likely am F.E.A.R. and brings in his priority to out-priority me, but I have the Trick Room. I'm going to lose a turn in Trick Room due to being at full health before entering in. I was right, he had the Technician Stab Bullet Punch, but that's a Focus Sash from me. I get in my Endeavor for free. Unfortunately, he had the priority so that he can take me out easily. Unfortunately, I lose a turn of Trick Room. If he had just kept Garchomp in, this could have been easier. A Scavalier comes in. This is the fulcrum of this traditional strat. Luckily, he keeps his Scizor in. I wanted him to keep it in. He Mega Evolves it. He probably doesn't realize how slow a Scavalier is. He wants to go for something to take it out. And I have the Fell Stinger. Fell Stinger, it got a buff. I believe it had raised attack, and instead of giving +1 or 2, it now gives +3 to the attack. In comes the Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko, it sets electric terrain. Luckily, this is not a rest team. I believe I switched out which items I gave Scavalier, a Lumberry, whichever item protects it from powders. No, its ability protects it from powders. I gave it a Citrus Berry once, the Anti-Fire Berry once. And when I take out the Tapu Koko with the Drill Run, Trick Room returns to normal. Garchomp, it could have Flamethrower, maybe Fire Fang. I forgot exactly. I switch out and go into the Mimikyu. If he has a Dragon-type move, I would immune it. Instead, he goes for the Rock Slide. I believe that's neutral damage onto a Scavalier. Chance to flinch is bad. The Disguise is busted. Here's where, if he had a Steel or a Poison Jab, you should show it. He went for the Stab Earthquake instead. Mimikyu, it's low. I get off my Destiny Bond. All he had to do was use a non-attack or Dragon-type move, and he would survive this turn. But he forfeits. If you guys like Trick Room and want to try it out, here's a set to try.